Hi everyone, how are you all doing today? I hope that you're doing fine. So today we'll be having KD to grade 2, and we'll be having adjectives that compare. So first one is login using the aplusstudent.com, input your email and your password, and then you go click on your name. Okay, this is where you have the names. So you click on your name and then you log in. So we will have grade 2. Okay, so we'll take the lesson from grade 2 and we will just search for adjective that compare. So this is here. Okay, so we'll take the lesson from grade 1 and we will have adjectives that compare. Okay, so the first lesson will be compare pictures using comparative and superlative adjective. Okay, okay, so we need to note that some adjective compare animal, people, places, or things. Okay, so some adjective compare people, animals, places, or thing. Comparative adjective compare two people, animal, place, or thing. They end in er. Okay, so comparative adjective compare two people, animals, places, or thing. Comparative is two people. Note that it compares two people, and then they always end in er. Okay, so comparative adjective always end in er. Andy is taller than his sister. So you see, it's comparing two people. That's Andy and his sister. Okay, so comparative will compare only two people, and that's it. So Andy is taller than his sister, and they always end in er. So that's it. You see, taller, it's er. All right, so superlative adjective compare more than two people. Okay, superlative adjective compare more than two people, animal, places, or things. They end in est. Okay, superlative compares more than two people. Now it's not just two; they compare more than two. Okay, and they usually end in est. That is, he is the tallest person in his class. He is the tallest person in his class. The tallest person in his class. Tallest, EST. So you see, it's more than two people in the picture here. So it's comparing more than two. But when it comes to comparative, this one, it compares only two. Now, this is what more than two for superlative. It's comparing four people here. So it always ends with EST. Okay? So we have an example. Which one is the lighter? So which one is the lighter? Okay? Now, if you see ER, you know that that is comparative. So which one is lighter? So let's go down. Mhm. So we'll look at the two pictures, right? This one is not lighter, it is heavier. Okay, so this one is not lighter, it is heavier. So you can have lighter or heavier. Okay, and then which person is older? which person is older. So yeah, this person is older. So this is the oldest person here. This person is not older, he is younger. So you can compare, this small baby here is not older than this man, he is younger. So this man is the oldest and this one is the youngest. Okay? Now this one is older. This car is older. This one is not older, it is newer. So you are comparing two things. Is this younger or older? Is this heavier or lighter? Is this older or newer? Exactly. So this car with the red is newer. The one with the purple is older. Okay? So we have example. Which one is bigger? You look at the picture. This one is not bigger, it is smaller. So you can have bigger, smaller, it depends. Okay? So this one now, this puppy is smaller, but this one is bigger. Okay? Now which animal is softer? This one is softer, this one is not softer. Okay? It is less soft. Okay? Which one is warmer? This one is warmer. This one is not warmer, it is less warm. Okay? This is you just comparing two different things. Okay? So yeah, that's it. Okay, we'll move on now to the test. Let's see. Okay, we'll try to answer the test together. All right, so now you have to look at the pictures and compare. Okay, that's why we have adjectives that compare. So which one is smaller? Is it the purple or the orange? So the first picture is what? It's smaller. Okay. Now the second one says which one is fatter? Is it the first or the second one? Which one is fatter? The first or the second? So we have the first one is fatter. The second one is not fatter. Okay, it's a slimmer. Okay. Hmm. So which one is louder? Which one is louder? Is it the first one or the second one? If you look at the picture of the first one, it's a cat. So it's more quiet than a lion. So a lion is louder because we have a lion there as the second. And yes, lions are more louder than cats. Cats are very, very quiet. So that's it. So the one that is louder is the lion. So far we're doing comparative because comparative is the one that ends with er. So once you see er, you know that that is comparative. Okay? So yeah. Now next one is which one is smaller? Is it the first one or the second? So well, it's the first one because we can barely see it. It's very small. But the second one is big. It's an eagle. So yeah. So the first one. Okay, which one is faster? Is it the first or the second? It's the second because the first one is a turtle, and turtles are very, very slow. Okay, they move very slow. Now it's gonna be the second one because they are like the fastest. Okay, so yeah. Oh, Dennis, are you here? What grade are you in, Dennis? All right, which man is faster? Is it going to be the one with the bicycle or the one working? So, which one is faster? So, we're gonna have what? The first one. So, Dennis, you're in grade two, but I usually see you in grade three. Which one is warmer? Is it gonna be the first or the second? So, the first one is warmer, the second is less warmer. Now, which one is higher? The first or the second? Let's look at the first one. Ah, okay. So your sister joins the grade three and then you were here. Ah, okay. Now I understand. So, which one is higher? It's gonna be the first one. Okay. Yes, the first one is higher. Okay, so which one is bigger? The first or the second? Which is bigger? Which one is bigger? The first or the second one? It's gonna be the second one. Okay. All right, so we're done with this first lesson that says compare pictures using comparative and superlative. Yes. So when we see the one with er, okay, the one with er is the so the one that ends in er is the comparative adjective, and then the one that ends in est is the superlative adjective. Okay, we'll move on now to the next one, which is identify comparative and superlative adjective. So we need to identify comparative and superlative. Ah, okay. The brother is in grade three, the sister is in grade two. Okay, I understand now. Okay, so now we need to be able to identify comparative and superlative. So, note that some adjective compare people, animal, places, or things. Okay, so comparative adjective compare to people, animals, places, or things. Okay, they end in er. Okay, so now comparative only compares to, and they always end in er. Okay, so when it ends in er, it is Andy is taller than his sister. Now, superlative here compare more than two people, animals, places, or things. They end in ESTs. So when you see superlative, they always end in EST. The one that has EST, it is superlative. The one with ER, it is comparative. So he is the tallest person in his class. Okay, tallest, that is superlative. So Oxford is the nicest town of all. We have some example here. Oxford is the nicest town of all. So the adjective that compares is nicest. It compares Oxford and all other towns. Okay? Ah, okay, sister kindergarten. Okay, okay, I get now. All right, so the adjective that compares is nicest. It compares Oxford and all other town. Okay, so look at it here. The example says Oxford is the nicest town of all. So what adjective is being compared? Nicest. is the adjective that is being compared. And when you have nicest, it is superlative because superlative always end in est. Okay? Est. So now, Rose is the tallest man in Oak Grove. Ross is the tallest man. So when you are looking for the adjective that compares, it shows that Ross is the tallest. So it's comparing tallest. Okay? Tallest. That is it. And then Grandpa is the oldest man we know. Grandpa is the oldest man we know. So oldest, it's comparing what? Grandpa as the oldest man. Okay, so that's it. Note that when you have est, I'm going to repeat myself. Once you have est, it is the superlative. Look at it here. The superlative adjective compare more than two people, animal, places, or thing. They end in est. So that is superlative, est. That's why we have nicest, tallest, oldest, like that. And then when it's comparative adjective, it compares two or more people. Okay, just two people. Sorry, it compares two people, animals, places, thing. Everything must just be two. Okay, between me and my brother. Exactly. So it's comparing two people. Andy is taller than his sister. So we have the example Andy and his sister. But Andy is taller because it's comparing between Andy and his sister. Now this one is comparing between the classmates, okay? So he's the tallest, the one in red is the tallest. He's the tallest among everybody in the class. Okay? So that's it. Let's see some more example before we move on to the test. Pet's story was sadder than Janet's story. When you have sadder, it is comparative. So it's between two people. If you can see, it says Pet's story and Janet's story. So Pet's story was sadder than Janet's story. So that's comparative. Your shoes are wetter than mine. Your shoes are wetter than mine. So once you have wetter, you know that that is comparative and it's between two people. Okay. Luke's boat is newer than Andy's. Luke's boat is newer than Andy's. So it's comparing two people, Luke and Andy, and Luke's boat is newer. Okay? Newer, once you have ER, it is comparative. Okay? So we'll move on to the test here. Move on to the test now. Okay, so find the adjective that compares. So you need to find what adjective is being compared in the sentence. So it says, Snowy is the whitest goat of all. Snowy is the whitest goat of all. Snowy is the whitest goat. Okay? So now what adjective compares? Is it goat or whitest? It is whitest because that is the adjective here. Whitest. Okay? That is the adjective being compared and it is superlative. Okay? Gabby's homework was harder than Bet's homework. Now, Gabby and Bet are two different people, and it is comparing two people, which makes it what comparative. Okay, because it says harder. So, what adjective is being compared here? It is harder. This is the highest hill in Auckland. Highest. Now, what adjective is being compared here? It is highest. Highest is when you go high, 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 and that's it. So the adjective that is being compared here is highest. Okay? Which makes it superlative. So we have Blue Point is nicer than Lakewood. Blue Point is nicer than Lakewood. Okay? Blue Point is nicer. So we have nicer there. So the adjective that compares there is nicer, and it is comparative. It's comparing only two, Blue Point and Lakewood. All right, find the adjective that compare. An ant is lighter than a bee. Because this is between two, it is a comparative. It says that an ant is lighter than a bee. An ant lighter than the bee. So lighter is the adjective that is being compared. So Leo was the biggest lion of all. Leo was the biggest lion of all. Biggest. So that's it here. Pet was sadder than Janet's story. So, what adjective is being compared here? We have sadder. And then find the adjective that compares. So, which is being compared here? Today is the hottest day so far. Hottest. Superlative. So, you say hottest with est. Now, next off is Pat is the sweetest. No. Port is the sweetest boy I know. Sweetest. See? Looks both is newer than and is comparative. So newer. ER. Okay, so that's everything for identifying comparative and superlative. I hope that you can identify them. Okay, we'll move on to the last lesson for this chapter. Okay, and I hope that you can try to finish this all on your own. Okay, so the last lesson says, does the adjective compare to or more than? So does the adjective compare to or more than to? Okay, now remember what it is, what the definition is. Some adjective compare people, animals, places, or things, and comparative adjective compare two people, animals, places, or things. So the comparative is the two people, it ends in er. So once you see er, it's comparing two people. And then superlative adjective comes compares more than two people, more than two people, animals, places, or things, they end in est. So once you see the est, you know that it's comparing more than two. Okay. So the is the hottest one of all. This pan is the hottest one of all pan. Hottest is a superlative adjective. It compares more than two pans. Okay. This pan is the hottest of all. So that's it. We'll be comparing. Okay. Once you see er, note that it's comparative, and est. Okay, it is what? Superlative. Okay. So we will look at some more examples before we move on. Tina is older than Justin. Tina is older than Justin. Older, when you have older, it is what? Okay, so when we have older, it's what? Older is comparative because it is comparing only two people. Okay, comparative. If you have older with er, note that it's comparing two people, only two. Okay? So yeah, that's it. This is the greatest story of all. This is the greatest story of all. Greatest est. That means it is comparing more than what? More than two. Okay? It's comparing up to four. Okay? Yes. So it is superlative. Okay? So yeah, that's it, everybody. Let's see some more examples before we go to the test. Our pool is warmer than Dana's pool. Our pool is warmer. So because we have ER, we are comparing people because it says our pool is warmer than Dana's pool. Okay. And that's what? That is comparative. Okay. This is the greatest story of all is superlative. Your song is sadder than Rosie's song. Your song is sadder than Rosie's song. So you see, this one, our song is better than Rosie's song. Okay, so that's it, everybody. Let's move on to the test now. I hope that you understand, and hopefully you can answer the questions. Okay, so we will go to the test now. Look at the adjective in bold. Does it compare two pools or more than two? So it says warmer because it is warmer. It compares two pools. That is comparative. So comparative compares two pools, okay, and compares only two things. So yeah, the kitten is softer than the cart. The kitten is softer than the cart. Kitten. So softer is what? It's comparing two animals. Now Luke's house is colder than my house. Cold, when you have colder, it's what? Er, comparing only two, which is the comparative. So two houses. The blue train is faster than the red train. The blue train is faster than the red train. So we have faster. So once you have faster, what does it mean? Only two trains. It's comparing only two. is shorter than the new shorter. So once you have er, it's comparing two ropes, so the old one and the new rope. Dusty is the fastest pony of them all. Fastest. If you see est, it is more than two. So est compares more than two. Now bold. Ruby is the oldest cow of all. Ruby is the oldest. So oldest est. Because it has est, you know that it's comparing more than two cows. It's not two cows, but more than two. So we have so many cows, but then they're comparing Ruby. Your song is sadder than Rosie's song. Your song sadder than Rosie's song. Sadder, we have your song and Rose, so it's two. Comparative. Phil's pig fatter than Deb's pig. Phil's is fatter than Deb's pig. So it's comparing two pigs between Phil's and Deb's. The red apple is sweeter than the green apple. So red apple sweeter than the green. So that means we have two. Okay, we're comparing two apples. But once you see that the answer is bigger and it means two, but you click on more than two balloons, get it all wrong, all you need to do is scroll down. This is an explanation. And it also tells you why you got it wrong. Okay, so this one is supposed to be two balloons because it's comparing what two people. Okay, so it's not more than two. So once you get anything wrong, all you need to do is scroll down. You're gonna see a detailed explanation and you'll see why you got it wrong. Okay? So yeah, the pan is the hottest one of all. Hottest. Hottest. So when you have hottest, meaning that you have different pans. Okay? Alright, so we have Tina is old Justin. Older. So it's between two people, Tina and Justin. My dad is older than your dad. So it's comparing to my dad and your dad. So it's what? Comparative, which is only two dads. So we're comparing two dads. So look at the adjective in bold. Robin's nap was longer than Lee's nap. So it's comparing two because it has er, which is longer. It makes it comparative and it's comparing only two. Buster is the softest rabbit of them all. Softest. est. Softest. Okay? Now that's what? More two. Okay? Because it says softest. Green Hill is higher than Squirrel Hill. So higher is what? ER. Higher has what? Higher has the comparative. So it's two hills, between two. Okay? So that's it. Alright, great. Greatest meaning that we have, this is the greatest story of all. We have more than two stories. Okay? And then Max's yard is flatter than Gabby's yard. Max's yard is flatter. So 2 yards, it's compare Max and Gabby. So 2 yards. And then next up we have Cow Hill is the highest of all. Cow Hill. So it's becoming it's comparing to, okay? That is what the comparative. Okay. Okay, it says highest, so it's compare more than two. That is superlative. It's not higher. If it's higher and you have ER, then it's what? It's the first two hills. But if it says highest, it's comparing more than two. So that's it, everyone. I hope that you understand the lesson for adjective that compare. Mhm. We finished that lesson right now, and I'm going to let you finish up your test. If you've not done this test before, finish up the test. Okay, after that, you go through with your final test because you're gonna see the final test once you are done with this lesson. So make sure that you finish the final test. Okay, make sure that you finish, and I hope that you understand today's class and you do not have any questions. Okay, so we're gonna meet again sometime soon. Do have a good weekend, and bye everyone. Have a good weekend. Bye everyone.